I just want to speak about our judgment. Basically, this is an important part of us which we may neglect and which may hit us very hard later on. And the Bible says, I mean, it's there, don't judge or you will be judged. So now, are we not supposed to judge at all? Is that what it means? Or does it mean we should judge, but we have to have like a God in us in order to judge fairly? So, first of all, I mean, again, I'm just gonna, the Leonard Cohen, when he mentioned there is no entertainment and the judgments are severe, this statement is very true. We judge very harshly. I mean, look at our system. We still create wars. The war in Ukraine is a war of poor judgment on behalf of certain individuals who are leading us, who are our leaders. They are like on top of this. They are considered to be our moral guides, and of course they're not. I mean, everybody knows they're not. But I mean, a lot of people may if they can, kind of, why can't we? I mean, they may take the stand of, I mean, we do have to judge because otherwise we're naive. Really, we even though it's better to not be naive than to judge falsely and harshly. It's better not to know, and it's better to be fooled than to become. So this is what Jesus, I think, wanted to say is it's even better to be like, he mentioned even the animals that they're naive. You're supposed to be naive. However, so the judgment is not up to us, he says, but I think the judgment is somewhat up to us because I think that God does act through us, that we are extension of God, or we're extension of the devil. Or maybe, I think there is nothing in between, really. It just depends on the extent of your participation with one or the other, but you're definitely participating within the realm of one or the other. I think there is nothing in between. So if we are, we should judge. I mean, if we do have this God's capacity to judge, that means we can judge. However, we have to judge with utmost care. So now, who are these? So who should be allowed to be a judge in our society? Like, we have politicians which judge completely falsely. They cause wars where millions of people die. We have who knows how many people, who judge, who have the capacity to judge others and their place. And I think this is the greatest responsibility that these people have, really, who are placed in these kinds of positions, because we can. I think we can judge, but we have to be aware of how imperfect, I guess, we all are, and so that our judgment does not become harsh towards anybody. And I think this is how my journey began. I'm actually certain that when I started judging other people, and I judged them actually a little harsh. I mean, I was harsh. I wasn't aggressive or anything, but I did become, at a certain point, I don't know why, I wasn't like this all the time. It was as if that was the first demon I was supposed to pass. And it was the most obvious one because I didn't judge. I wasn't like judgmental when I was young. I don't think children usually are judgmental. So, and I wasn't for a long time. And this was probably was something that I should have passed pretty easily. And yet I didn't. I became judgmental. I became angry at certain people for not acting the way that I expect them to act. So keep this in mind. The heart, when making your judgment, I think we should spend a lot of time in solitude, and be quiet and try to listen to our heart. I know this sounds strange. When articulating our judgment in order to not make the mistake, which I've made, and which perhaps a lot of people make when judging falsely, because this is an important aspect of us, and it is an aspect that requires great attention, and to which I haven't actually figured out, how these judges and all these people actually live with themselves, judging all that they have done, and these politicians. So I don't have like a real solution, except that God has to be within us in order for us to have a fair judgment of others. And who is this God people? I mean, like, there's a lot of people that may represent themselves as so, like that they, whatever, false prophets, I guess. And Jesus says, don't judge at all. I mean, don't judge at all. I mean, that's the ultimate freedom, because every other mistake carries a penalty. So it's best not to even take that road. But then again, if you want to help people, you have to understand them. Well, he did, but yeah, he had God in him. So did he judge? He didn't judge, but he knew what was required. He knew what to say to everybody and to kind of get them, So, well, yeah, I don't believe that Jesus is the only. I mean, we can all be to a certain extent like him, but yeah, see, that goes against he's the chosen one according to the Bible. So this is a very interesting question, and I think it is something that we should take great caution when we actually think we have made up our mind about somebody, and about the execution of such judgment, of our judgment should be should be without any kind of a carried out without. I don't even know what to tell you about this, but it's a dangerous field that I think we are supposed to take part in, but we can't. But we have to have like help from the outside almost in order to do it adequately. That's all I wanted to say for today.